What if you could feel peaceful, on command, with just a story? I'm Rhonda, and in less than 3 minutes, I'll help you unwind, reconnect, and feel calm again, using a method most people never think to even try. So now, let's take a deep breath in. Feel it fill you with calm, gentle energy. And as you exhale, allow your body to soften, your thoughts to slow, and your mind to open up like a peaceful sky. And now, let your mind relax and listen. Half-open doors. A hypnotic story about searching for connection in a world full of profiles, pings, and possibilities, and finding the deepest one within. Her name was Rai, and she had always been a romantic in a digital age. Not the candlelight and rose kind, but the kind who believed in soul renaissance, in laughter that lit up through text messages, in voices that softened late at night when the road went silent. She hadn't planned to enter the world of online dating, but there she was, staring at an app on her phone, a grid of faces frozen in curated angles, bios edited and re-edited, until they no longer breathe. Swipe left, swipe right, a rhythm that felt more like a slot machine than a love story. Yet somewhere deep inside her, beneath the cynicism, beneath the wariness of hey messages and ghosting games, she still believed. Not in perfect matches, but in real ones. Late one evening, Rai sat in her dimly lit room, the glow of the screen flickering across her face. A soft playlist played in the background, something lo-fi and dreamlike. She wasn't trying to impress anyone tonight, just scrolling, gently, curiously. But something was different this time, because tonight, she wasn't looking for someone. She was looking with someone. Herself. You see, Rai had learned something through all the profiles, all the almost, that online dating wasn't just a search for love. It was a mirror, a labyrinth, a garden of half-open doors, and each conversation, each connection, was a small path winding through that garden. Some led nowhere. Some were dead ends dressed as beginnings. Some opened, only to close again. But a few led her closer to herself. There was a time when she twisted herself to fit bios, matched energy that didn't match hers, laughed at things that didn't feel true, stayed in chats that drained her just to avoid seeming too picky. But not anymore. Now, she slowed down. She let intuition take the lead. Before responding, she'd check in, not with the rules, not with their algorithm, but with the quiet voice inside, the one that whispered, "You're allowed to wait. You're allowed to want depth. You're allowed to walk away without explaining." One night, Rai matched with someone new. Their name was Sam. Their profile wasn't dazzling. It didn't scream charisma, but it felt calm, like a well-worn sweater, like a porch light on in the rain. And when they spoke, it wasn't fast or flashy. It was patient, thoughtful. They talked about favorite books that felt like friends. They spoke of their flaws without turning them into punchlines. They ask questions like, "What's something about you most people will miss?" Rye didn't know where it would go, but for once, she wasn't measuring the future. She was experiencing the moment, because she had realized something, that online dating wasn't a gauntlet, it was a gallery. And not everyone who walked in needed to come inside. She didn't have to entertain every knock at the door. She had only had to open to those who matched her peace, her pace, her truth. And more than finding someone to love her, Rye was learning to love the version of herself that showed up unfiltered. The version who wasn't worried about saying the right thing. The version who sent voice notes when text felt too small. The version who didn't shrink when silence lingered. Weeks passed. Some connections faded. Some surprised her. Sam? They kept talking. Not every day, but often enough that the rhythm felt like a heartbeat, not a race. They met in person. It was gentle. No fireworks, but something deeper. Recognition. Not like in movies, but like in dreams you remember hours after waking. Subtle, but lingering. Rye didn't know what would happen next, but she didn't need to. Because she had learned that online dating wasn't about finding the one. It was about finding the path back to herself, again and again. Through half-open doors, quiet thresholds, and the steady unfolding of a heart brave enough to keep hoping. Even when it didn't look like a fairy tale. Even when it came one slow message at a time. And somewhere, tonight, in the quiet in-between swipes, in the hush between conversations, a woman like Rye sits in front of her screen, not searching for perfect, just listening for renaissance, and whispering to herself, "I am not behind. I am not too much. I'm ready." Hypnotic induction. Listening for resonance. Find a quiet place now. Let your body settle into stillness. Not in a stillness that demands silence, but one that welcomes whatever is already there. Take in a deep breath, gently, as if you were sipping something warm and familiar. Let it out slowly, like a truth you've been holding in for too long. And just like that, you begin to arrive. Not in the world of apps and messages and pings, but in you. The part of you that exists behind the profile. Beneath the curated answers, beyond the bio. That soft, deep place that still knows what Renaissance feels like. Now, imagine yourself standing in a wide garden. Not pristine, not perfect, but full of gentle paths. Each one winding and quiet, lined with half-open doors. Some led to conversations, some short stories, some too long, unfolding chapters. And here, you do not need to knock on every door. You do not need to say yes to every voice. You are allowed to listen, to pause, to feel. Let yourself walk slowly, and with each step, let go of the rules you've been told. You need to be more available. You're too sensitive. You're too much. You're not enough. Each of those thoughts, you can imagine them now, like petals falling from your hands, no longer yours to carry. You are not here to be chosen by anyone. You are here to choose, in alignment with your intuition, in rhythm with your peace. Now, feel that quiet inner compass begin to glow. The part of you that whispers, wait for what feels like home. Speak only from your center. There is no timeline for something real. Let these words sink in, softly, like roots touching the soil beneath your feet. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are a garden of stories and insight, and only those meant for your season will stay. Rest in knowing this. Let it ripple through your chest, your breath, your whole body. And when you're ready, you may begin to open your eyes, carrying that quiet clarity with you. Back to your screen, back to your search, back to yourself. More whole, more trusting, more free. So here are the key meanings. Whether you're dating, healing, or rediscovering your own worth, this story is for you, because the truest connection begins with yourself. So number 1, online dating is a mirror, not a judgment. Rye's journey reflects how dating apps can become a reflection of our own self-worth, fears, and longings, not just a search for someone else, but an exploration of who we are and what we believe we deserve. Number 2, intuition is the most trustworthy guide. Rather than following external rules or pressure, Rye begins to listen to her own inner signals. Her body's ease, her emotional responses, her quiet knowing, trusting them over performance or perfection. Number 3, you don't have to force connection. The story reminds us that not every interaction needs to lead to something. Some doors close gently, some never open, and that's okay. Real connection doesn't require chasing. It unfolds naturally. Number 4, you are allowed to take your time. Rye's pacing shows that there's no time or urgency in love that is real and nourishing. The pressure to match or move fast is replaced by permission to feel and choose deliberately. Number 5, soft connection precedes true connection with others. As Rye learns to show up more authentically, she attracts deeper resonance, not because she's trying harder, but because she's no longer editing who she is. Love begins by meeting yourself. And once again, you've done beautifully. By simply listening, you've given yourself the gift of stillness, of presence, and of healing. And maybe something inside you has shifted, subtly, gently, like a curtain parting to reveal a little bit more light in. If the story brought you peace, clarity, or a moment of rest, know that there's more waiting for you here. I'd love for you to subscribe so you can return whenever you need a safe place to land. For now, let this feeling stay with you. Let the story echo through the quiet, and return anytime you're ready. Until next time, be well.